It's 11:15. So, my dear little ones, it's a very good morning to you all. Adilakshmi, where were you?
Ma'am, I was not well. I was admitted in Aster.
Okay. Okay. So, let us begin. Let me rewind or let me revise everything once again. Let us go back to the classroom situations and come back to the online class. Okay. So, we had a discussion about reported speech in the classroom, isn't it? We discussed about many things in the classroom. I said direct and indirect speech is also known as a reported speech in English grammar. We can call it as reported speech in English grammar. The other name for direct indirect speech is actually the reported speech. We have two ways of reporting, the direct way of reporting and the indirect method of reporting, right? So direct way of reporting or direct speech of reporting means we are reporting using the exact words of the speaker within the inverted commas. These inverted commas or the exact words of the speaker guide us, or it will lead us to recognize a speech written in or a direct speech in English grammar. Indirect speech at the same time, we are not using the exact words of the speaker during the time of reporting. We are using our own words to just convey or to just communicate the idea. Okay, there are 6 points to remember, we said, isn't it? We discussed about 6 words. 6 points, isn't it? We just started by the tense changes, right? I said direct way and indirect way of reporting are the method of reporting what a person has said. There are 2 words of reporting, direct speech of reporting and indirect speech of reporting. Very clear? And let me discuss this point once again. In direct speech, we repeat the speaker's exact words. This is important. We are using the exact words of the speaker, so that we are normally using inverted commas in order to mark the exact words of the speaker. Okay, we are using the same words. We are not changing the words of the speaker. See, mother, I took medicine last night. Mother, I took medicine last night. Actually, if it is Rahul, you are using Rahul's own words. We are not changing the words of Rahul. We are using the same words uttered by Rahul in the method of reporting. And this is called direct way of reporting. And this is called speech mark or quotation mark, or we can call it as inverted commas. This is normally used in a direct speech sentences to express. And indirect speech, as you all know, in indirect speech, we mainly express the idea or the content of what was said. We are not using the exact words of the speaker. We are changing the exact words of the speaker into our own words. We are not using the exact words of the speaker. Here we are using the method, or we are reporting using our own words. We are just communicating the words or the ideas or the content of what was already said. Okay, see the same sentence here. Rahul said, mother, I took medicine last night. When we use or when we change it into indirect speech, we are changing into our own way. We are not using the exact words. He told his mother that he had taken the medicine the previous night. Just see both the sentences. The sentence written within the inverted commas, the sentences without using the inverted commas. Direct speech sentence and indirect speech sentence. You can find many changes, right? And these many changes are, or it can be labeled under 6 points, children. As you all know, these are the 6 points. You have already written this in your notebook, right? I know that you have these points with you. These are the 6 points that you should remember when you change a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. The first and the prominent or the most important thing is the tense changes. You know, if a sentence is written within simple present tense, during the time of reporting or after reporting, or the time when you write into indirect speech, you have to change that simple present tense into simple past tense, isn't it? You know the tense changes, right? If it is in past perfect, you can use the same past perfect there. If it is in past continuous, you can use past perfect continuous in your indirect speech. So there you need to by heart the tense changes. As you all know, in the second one, see here, I took the medicine last night, is actually the word took is in simple past tense, and you can change when you change these sentence into indirect speech, you are changing the tense into had taken. Simple past is changed into past perfect, isn't it? So this is called a tense change in the sentence. So this is important when you use direct indirect speech in your English grammar. papers. Okay, now second point that you should remember, this is regarding the pronoun change. We need to change the pronoun also. As you all know, when you do active and passive voice, if the sentence is starting with the subject pronoun she, when we change it into object's position, as you all know, we are changing into by her, isn't it? We are not using the same pronoun there. So as it is used in the active and passive voice, here in the direct indirect speech also, we need to change the pronoun according to the situation. Am I clear? As per the situation, we need to change the pronouns also. So pronoun changes are most important, or one of the important point coming under the reported speech, children. Those who are listening will get good marks. Those who are not listening, those who are pretending that they are listening and chatting in between will lose their marks. That's it. Again, point number 3, change in the adverb of time and place. As you all know, adverb of time and adverb of place. You're familiar with the place and time, right? This day, that day, previous night, last night, today, tomorrow, yesterday. All these are normally the adverb of time. The time mentioned after or with an adverb, or we are adding or we are describing a verb or with the help of these adverbs. So based on these adverb of time also, we need to change, because I cannot say that if this incident is happening today, when I report this tomorrow, I cannot use the word today because it had already happened, right? I cannot use the same adverb of time. So according to the situation, we have to change the adverb of time and the adverb of place also. Adverb of place means if it is happening here in this classroom, if I go somewhere, I cannot say that it happened here, right? If I report it happened here, that definitely will be wrong. Okay, I cannot use here, then I have to change it into there. In Malayalam also, as you all know, in Malayalam also, ivide, I cannot use ivide all the time, right? I have to use avide, right? It happened avide, it happened. It is not ivide, right? The same way, when we change a sentence from active voice, the sentence from direct speech to indirect speech also, we need to change the adverb of time and adverb of place based on that, okay? I am going in a quick way and I'll be explaining one after the other. Okay, next one, children. Look at the third point that you should remember. When you change, change an adverb of time and place. So here, the adverb of time used here in the sentence is last night. Okay, when you get an adverb of time last night, innale ratri. Okay, but when we change that innale ratri or the last night, we have to use another way, right? We have to change it into previous night, because I cannot say that if I am reporting after 2 or 3 days, I cannot say that the last night, right? The time has got changed. So I have to use a perfect time as per the time of reporting, right? So if it is last night, that should be changed into the previous night. Okay, if I am reporting after 1 month also, I cannot say last night. I have to use it previous night to that particular incident, right? Usually we use in Malayalam tale divasam. Okay, it happened tale divasam, because we know that the date of the function, right? So we have to use a word previous night. Okay, the next important point, the change in the punctuation mark. As you all know, here we have different kinds of sentences in English grammar, isn't it? We have different kinds of sentences. How many kinds are there, children? How many kinds of sentences are there? 4. We have 4 kinds of sentences, right? From declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory sentences, isn't it? We have 4 kinds of sentences in English grammar. So these 4 kinds of sentences that must be changed into, or that must be converted, or that must be transformed into indirect speech. Okay, so but those are totally different. The way of reporting, if the sentence is in declarative sentence, the way of reporting is different. If the sentence is written in imperative sentence, the way of reporting is different. If the sentence is an interrogative sentence, the way is different. And if it is written in exclamatory sentence also, the way of reporting is different. So based on the 4 kinds of sentences, the punctuation marks plays different roles, because normally an interrogative sentence which is normally ending with a question mark. One second. Once again. Okay, children. So we said the way of reporting are different, right? As you all know, an interrogative sentence are the sentences usually ending with a question mark, right? But when you change an interrogative sentence into indirect speech, remember these punctuation marks cannot be used. Okay, we cannot give a question mark at the end of your indirect speech sentence. Instead of a question mark, what can be given there?
Full stop.
Why it is a full stop, Gopika? You said full stop. I agree. 100% I agree with you. So you tell me why you're using a full stop after that.
Because it
For
is an
indicating-
assertive sentence.
Suraja, you're giving me something
Because it is an assertive sentence.
because it is
Assertive statement.
assertive statement.
Sorry,
Okay, if the question is out of 100, I'll give you 50 marks. No problem. Another 50. Who is ready with the correct answer?
Ma'am, can I guess?
Yes, why not?
Ma'am, for telling that question is completed, we use full stop.
No.
At
No.
times.
The reason is, as you all know, we learned 3 rule of sequence, right? Okay, rule of sequence number 1, rule of sequence number 2, and rule of sequence number 3. So remember, children, these sentences are only in complex. We are constructing either a complex or a simple sentence, mostly a complex sentence, right? Because we are using subordinating conjunctions to connect. You know, THAT, that it is a subordinating conjunction which is used to connect two clauses. One is a main clause, the other one is a subclause, isn't it? So such a sentences are examples for complex sentences, isn't it? We cannot end a complex sentence with a question mark, isn't it? We have to end our sentence with a full stop, isn't it? This is the only reason. If the sentence within the inverted commas are ending with an exclamation mark, that is, if that is the case, when we report something, or when we use or when we change it into indirect speech also, we should not use the exclamation mark. We have to use only a full stop. Remember, punctuation marks plays a vital role in our indirect speech. When you transform a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, we should avoid or we should ignore the inverted commas, the quotation marks. As you all know, after set, normally there is a comma. That comma also must be removed. And remember, within the inverted commas, if some other punctuation marks like question mark, exclamation mark, other than full stop, if it is used, you have to change it into a full stop. So you can begin your sentence with a capital letter in the indirect speech and end your sentence as it is like a complex sentence with a full stop. Am I clear? Yes or no? So what are the punctuation marks that we must ignore? We should ignore inverted commas, and you should not use a comma after said or told. So here in the example, he said, there is a comma. Mother, you have started writing or just put all the sentences in inverted comma. That must be avoided. I have used in my indirect speech only a full stop at the end. Okay, so I have to change my sentence into SVO pattern. See, I took the medicine last night. The medicine, see, just he had taken the medicine the previous night. That there it is actually SVO pattern, right? Whenever you change even an interrogative sentence, you know, interrogatives are either starting with a question mark or it is starting with an auxiliary verb, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes. So we cannot begin our sentence with an auxiliary verb. Okay, when we change an interrogative into indirect speech also, we are changing the structure into SVO pattern, statement pattern. Clear? Am I clear? So after the reporting verb said, or after the reporting verb told, or after the reporting verb says, if there is a comma used, you must remove the comma and you must remove the inverted commas and you can end your sentence with a full stop. This is regarding the punctuation mark. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Very clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the last one. Okay, not last one, the second last one, the change in the introductory verb. As you all know, we can call or we can divide the sentence into two parts, right? Introductory part and what is the second part? Introductory part and? You tell me. Reporting part and reported part, isn't it? Reporting part and reported part. So the verb present in the reporting part is said to be the reporting verb. So said is said to be the reporting verb of the sentence. This is also known as introductory verb. Here we are introducing. Okay, here we are going to introduce the second half of the sentence. So this is called an introductory verb. This is also known as reporting verb. Remember, there is a change in the form of reporting verb. I explained this, but let me explain one more time, children. After said, if there is an object, after said, he said. Okay, after the said in the first half of the sentence, if there is an object, listen, if there is an object after the introductory verb, the word said must be changed into told. Are you getting this? When you change a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, if after the reporting verb said, if there is any object, then you can change the word said into told. Clear? So where we are using told in our sentence? If there is an object after the reporting verb. Am I clear? So here in this example, in the example given here, you know that, see, he said mother. So whom he is actually saying this? To his mother, right? So there is mother, which is used in the form of an object in that sentence. That is why the verb, introductory verb said, is changed into told. Apart from this told, we can use many other introductory words as per the sentence. Okay, if you have an imperative sentence with you, and the imperative sentence is in the form of a question, in the form of a command, order, advice, request or something, so we have to use the word the teacher advised the student. The teacher ordered the student. The teacher recommended the student, right? Or the doctor recommended his patients, right? So instead of said, according to the situation or according to the sentences, you can use appropriate introductory word apart or other than said. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear? Said is not always used. You can use to told if there is an object. After told, please don't use the preposition to. He told to his mother is a wrong usage. He told his mother. That is the correct usage. Okay, after to, please don't use, after told, please don't use to. The preposition to should not be attached along with to. Clear? So he told his mother. He told his father. He told his friends. There is no to. He told to his father. He told to his mother. It's a wrong usage. Okay. So keep this in your mind. According to, suppose if within the inverted commas, if there is an interrogative sentence. Listen, within the inverted commas, if there is an interrogative sentence, you cannot use the word said. Introductory verb said cannot be used. Instead of that, you must have to use only asked, questioned, right? Yes or no? So these kind of introductory verb instead of said can be used. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the normal changes occurring in the introductory verb, the change in the introductory verb. And the last one, the use of conjunction. Okay, here we have the last one. The sixth point is related to the use of conjunction. This is important. So you have to you keep your ears near my mouth. Okay, that means you have to listen to me. Okay, so conjunction, conjunctions are the joining words. Right? We can even like Ihan and Ishal are twins. Right? Ishal and Ihan are twins. So here I have used the word and, a connecting word to connect Ihan and Ishal. Isn't it? Two names. So I can use a noun to connect two nouns. Right? Conjunction can be used for connecting two nouns. Isn't it? At the same time, she went home and took rest. She went home and she took rest. If this is the sentence means I'm using the word and the conjunction to combine two main clauses. Here I'm constructing a compound sentence, isn't it? Yes or no? She went home and she took rest. So she went home is one simple sentence. She took rest is another simple sentence. I am combining these two simple sentences into one using and the conjunction, isn't it? So conjunctions are the joining words. So we have, or we can use in indirect speech, when we change a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, we can choose only a few conjunctions, not all the conjunctions in use. Okay, the most commonly used conjunction to connect one main clause with the subclauses that. Okay, that, you know, that is a conjunction which can be, that is not always used as a conjunction. That can also be used like a pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, demonstrative adjective also. You know, how can you distinguish a demonstrative pronoun and demonstrative adjective? Demonstrative. This, that. This and those can be used in the form of a pronoun. This and those can be used in the form of an adjective also. How is it possible? And this, that can also be used in the form of a conjunction also. This, that, these, those are the demonstratives, right? These are called demonstratives in English. But among these four, we are using that as a conjunction, normally used, commonly used conjunction in indirect speech, children. Okay, see, if that, this, those, and these are used before a noun. Okay, these apples are ripe. See, you know determiners, right? These apples are ripe. Okay, here these, the demonstrative is used before a noun, what, apples, isn't it? So there it is used in the form of an adjective which is placed before apples. We are describing the apples, the noun, with the help of these demonstratives, isn't it? Yes or no?
ma'am.
So that is the case.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is how you should recognize adjectives, the pronouns, the conjunction. So here in direct indirect speech, we are using a direct speech sentence. When we change a direct speech sentence into indirect speech, you know, a direct speech, it has two different parts, right? One is before the comma, one is within the inverted commas, right? So in order to combine a main clause with the subclause, we have to use a conjunction. So here, if the sentence within the inverted commas, listen, if the sentence written within the inverted commas are, if it is a declarative sentence or it is an exclamatory sentence, I repeat, within the inverted commas, the sentences are in the form of SVO pattern, like a declarative or an assertive sentence, or if it is within the inverted commas are used in the form of an exclamatory sentence. To combine both the part into one, we can use that, a conjunction. So that can be used as a conjunction with a declarative sentence and an exclamatory sentence. So conjunction that can be used to combine two clauses in order to make a complex sentence. Okay, so here if the sentence within the inverted commas are declarative or if it is an exclamatory, that, the conjunction can be used. Now, if within the inverted commas, the sentences are written in the form of an interrogative sentence, what can be used to connect? Which conjunction that can be used to connect, children? I know that you don't know this answer, but you guess. Try to think, crack your brain, break it, make it into pieces and give me one answer. If you're not getting, no worries. Who is ready with an answer? If it is wrong also, I don't mind. Give me wrong answers. We'll correct.
Can you repeat the question?
The question, I've told you, that, the conjunction can be used. Okay, that, the conjunction can be used to connect two clauses. Okay, if the sentence within the inverted commas are in assertive form or in declarative form, or else it is written in exclamatory sentence form, we can use these that to connect. But within the inverted commas in a direct speech, if it is a WH question, how can you make a complex sentence? Which conjunction can be used there?
Whether. Whether.
I agree. Only whether can be used.
If.
Only if can be used. You're searching, you're Googling, your Google Andy is not supporting you. No worries, no worries. So listen, no worries. If within the inverted commas, if the question is starting with the WH question word, I repeat, you know, there are two types of questions, right? We have yes or no questions and we have WH questions. Is it correct? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we have two types of question, WH question. WH questions, as you all know, this is starting with the WH question word like what, where, when, why, which, how, whatever, whenever, however, right? How often, right? How far, how long, all the WH question words are used. And here, when we use a WH question word to ask a question, we are expecting a particular answer. If your friend is asking, what you had in the morning, definitely the friend is expecting, I had idli in the morning, I had idli with chamandi in the morning, or I had idli with sambar in the morning. No, I didn't have anything in the morning. These kind of answers normally expected by the person who is actually raising a question, right? But if the question is an yes or no question, yes or no question means a question which is starting with an auxiliary verb. Are you coming with me? Are you going there? Can I talk with you for a few minutes? If I begin my question with these auxiliary verbs like am, is, are, was, where, or the modal auxiliaries like can, could, will, would, may, might, and all, there the person who is asking a question is expecting an answer in the form of either yes or no. Are you coming with me? No, I am not. Are you going for a picnic today? No, not today. Right? Yes or no, that should be the answer. So remember, within the inverted commas, if the question is a WH question, you know, you can use, listen, underline these words, you can use the same WH question word as a conjunction. As you all know, subordinating conjunction, all the WH words in English grammar can be used as a subordinating conjunction. This is the house where I live. This is the person whom I love the most, right? All the WH words can be used in the form of a subordinating conjunction, isn't it?
Yes,
Isn't
ma'am.
it, children? So, if the question within the inverted commas are starting with the WH question word, instead of that, then there is no need of using that again. I'm repeating, there is no need of using that again. Instead of he said or he asked. Okay, and if the question is starting with where, you can use the same where as a conjunction instead of that in the indirect speech. Am I clear, children? Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so within the inverted commas, if the question is starting with the WH question word, whatever the WH question word is, the same WH question word can be used as a conjunction to connect or to make a complex sentence. Clear?
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, suppose if within the inverted commas, if the question is a yes or no question starting with an auxiliary verb like aren't you coming, or she does, do, did, or the questions are starting with have, has, had, if the questions are starting with am, is, are, was, where, whatever it is, if it is starting with an auxiliary verb, when you make or when you change these sentences into indirect speech, remember, instead of that, you must have to use two conjunctions. Okay, either if or whether. As Suraja said, we can use if or whether with a yes or no question within the inverted commas. Instead of that, if the within the inverted commas, if the question is starting with a WH word, we can use the same WH word as a conjunction to connect both the parts into one. Clear? Am I clear?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
getting this? So these are the major things. But there is a problem. So we had a discussion about declarative sentence. We had a discussion about exclamatory sentence. I said if the sentence within the inverted commas are declarative or exclamatory in form, you can use THAT that as a conjunction, right? Again, I said, okay, within the inverted commas, if you have a WH question, use the same WH word as a conjunction. If it is an auxiliary verb, if it is a yes or no question, you can use if or whether as a conjunction, I said. But the problem is with if the sentence within the inverted commas are imperative in form. You know, if it is declarative, interrogative, and exclamatory, we explain, but we haven't even touched the imperative, isn't it? So tell me if the sentence within the inverted commas are imperative sentence in the form of a command, order, request, advice, suggestion, and begging or something like that. So what will you do? Which conjunction can be used? We cannot use that. We cannot use if or whether. We cannot even use this WH question word. So which word can be used as a conjunction there?
Ma'am, can I guess? I'm not sure if it's right.
No problem. Don't be sure about what you say. Crack it.
Two.
Elsa?
Ma'am, two.
Yeah, absolutely. You're correct. 100%. If you have a behavioral chart over here, definitely I would have given you 10 to 25 marks in the behavioral. You are right. If the sentence within the inverted commas are an example, or those are examples for imperative, the verb must be changed into to infinitive form. We are not using any conjunctions. Remember, if the sentence within the inverted commas are imperatives in form, we need to change, when we need to change it into indirect speech, use to infinitive. Okay, come here. He requested, please come here. He requested me to come here. Okay, to come here. I'm not using any conjunction. Okay, I'm not using the reporting verb said. Get out from my class. The teacher shouted the students to go out from the class, right? Say to go out from the class. This is a simple method. This is a simple thing. As you all know, this cannot be called as a complex sentence here. Imperative sentence cannot be called as complex sentence because we are not using any subordinating conjunction. So imperative sentence, these are an exceptional case because we are changing it into a simple sentence. Am I clear? Are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I getting this? I'm not getting. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So children, this is all about direct indirect speech. So we have completed the portion. I was struggling to complete at least 2 or 3 times in the class. When you came into the class, I never felt it is good to see you in the class because the way that you behaved in the classroom was a totally different way. Not everyone. I'm actually underlining the word not everyone. So we are coming to an end of direct indirect speech. Okay, so we'll practice with more examples and exercises in the coming classes. And I have another period. So children, let me take attendance and I'll leave from here. Okay.